My beloved child, I speak to you now in the quiet place of your spirit, where the noise of the world cannot reach and the storms of your mind finally rest. Tonight, I draw near to you, not as a distant echo or a forgotten whisper, but as the living breath that formed you, the love that has carried you even when you felt abandoned. Hear me, for I am declaring over your life. Tonight, it's over. The long night of sorrow, the weight of confusion, the endless cycle of striving without peace. It ends now. I have seen your tears. None of them were wasted. I have felt the ache within your chest, the silent cries that no one else noticed, the prayers you prayed when you thought even heaven had turned away. But I tell you, my child, I never left you. Every second of your pain was counted, every wound was known, and every delay was woven into a greater design. You have walked through valleys that felt like graves, yet you did not die there, because my hand was holding you. You have faced doors that refused to open, yet I was shaping your heart to carry what would be behind them. You have wondered why it seemed I was silent, but even in my silence, I was speaking, teaching you to trust, to stand, to know that faith is not a feeling, but a flame that refuses to go out. I say to you now, the testing was not rejection, it was preparation. The delay was not denial, it was divine alignment. And the breaking you felt was not destruction. It was the making of something new, something strong, something holy within you. My beloved, I am the God of divine timing. I am never early, never late, but always right on time, and tonight, time bends to my decree. The appointed hour for your breakthrough has arrived. The season of wandering ends where my promise begins. I have waited for this moment, for your heart to be ready, for your faith to mature beyond emotion and anchor itself in truth. You are stepping out of what was and into what is, a new day, a new grace, a new authority. I have watched you endure storms that were meant to drown you, but I turned those waters into the well from which you now draw strength. You have felt unseen, but I have been writing your story in heaven's light. Every hidden season, every quiet obedience, every surrender that cost you something, all of it has become incense rising before me. I have stored your tears in my bottle and written your name upon my palm. You are not forgotten. You are engraved into eternity. Now listen closely, for this is my word to your weary soul. Tonight, the warfare shifts. What once oppressed you will now obey you. The chains that held your peace will fall. The spiritual heaviness that followed you will break under the weight of my presence. The fear that whispered, "You'll never make it," will be silenced by the sound of my promise fulfilled. You are standing at the threshold of deliverance, and the angels I assigned to you are already moving. They have been waiting for your yes, your surrender, your belief that I can still do what looks impossible. My power moves where faith abides, and your faith, though tested by fire, has proven genuine. I am calling you, my child, to lift your head again. The night has felt long, but dawn is already rising behind the mountains you feared would never move. I am turning mourning into dancing, ashes into beauty, weakness into power. You are about to see what I have seen all along, that every loss was planting, every silence was shaping, and every disappointment was divine redirection. What felt like the end was only the seed of a beginning you could not yet perceive. Do not fear what is ending. It must end for me to begin. Do not cling to what I am removing. My pruning is protection. I am separating you from what cannot carry you into the next chapter, for your destiny demands a lighter load. I am cleansing the soil of your heart, removing roots of bitterness and despair, so that hope may bloom again. You will not live in the shadow of old pain any longer. I am rewriting your identity from survivor to overcomer, from broken to beloved, from weary to warrior. And hear me clearly. This night, I break the agreement you made with fear. You are no longer bound by what once defined you. The labels the world placed upon you are being burned away in the fire of my truth. I call you chosen, redeemed, restored, renewed. You are not your past, you are my promise. You are not your failure, you are my faithfulness. You are not what happened to you, you are what I am doing through you. My spirit hovers over you now, breathing life where despair once lived. I am awakening gifts that have been buried beneath grief. I am stirring visions that once felt too impossible to dream. The oil of purpose begins to flow again. Tonight, heaven declares a shift, the end of the old and the beginning of the divine. The enemy thought he buried you, but I planted you. He thought it was over, but I say it's just beginning. So rest, my beloved, in the sound of my voice. Feel the weight lifting, the atmosphere changing, the peace that surpasses all understanding wrapping around you like a holy mantle. You are safe in me. You are held in my hand. The night is over. My child, there were nights you could not sleep because the battle inside you was louder than the world around you. You smiled before others, but when you were alone, the weight of unseen warfare pressed against your chest. The confusion, the exhaustion, the endless why, all of it built a wall between what you hoped for and what you saw. But I say to you now, nothing you faced was wasted. Every tear became a weapon. Every moment of resistance became a testimony written in heaven. You did not see it, but angels stood beside you when you felt abandoned. When the enemy tried to drown your purpose, I surrounded you with my light. When your mind was tormented by lies, I whispered truth into your spirit, not through thunder, but through stillness. You have wondered why the battle was so intense, why every step forward seemed to stir new opposition. It was not because you were forgotten, but because you were marked. The enemy attacks what carries destiny. Darkness recognized your anointing before you did, and hell trembled at what I placed inside you. The resistance you felt was confirmation of your calling. I allowed the fire not to destroy you, but to reveal you, to strip away the false strength that depended on man, and awaken the divine strength that depends only on me. Beloved, I saw you in the wilderness seasons when you questioned if I was still near. I saw you worship through tears, forgive when it hurt, keep walking when nothing made sense. These were the moments heaven recorded, not your perfection but your persistence. You may have stumbled, but you did not stop. You may have been broken, but you still believed. That faith, trembling yet alive, is more powerful than any army of darkness. It is the faith that moves my hand, the faith that shakes realms unseen. The war you fought was not only around you, it was within you. The voices that told you were not enough, that you missed your chance, that you were too flawed for my promise. Those were not your thoughts. They were the echoes of an enemy desperate to silence your destiny. But I tell you, no accusation can stand against the one whom I have chosen. My blood speaks louder than your failures. My mercy is stronger than your mistakes. My covenant with you cannot be undone by human weakness. When I call you redeemed, no power in hell can rename you. You have been walking through refining fire, and I have been with you in the midst of it. The same flames that tried to consume you became the light that purified you. You are not who you were when the battle began. You have learned to pray differently, to wait differently, to trust differently. You have learned that strength is not loud, that victory sometimes looks like stillness. I have been reshaping you into a vessel that can carry glory without pride, authority without arrogance, compassion without compromise. My child, do not despise the warfare. For every trial that tested you also equipped you. Every delay fortified your discernment. Every disappointment deepened your dependence on me. What you thought was breaking you was actually building spiritual muscle, unseen but unshakable. And now, I am calling that strength forth. I am calling you to rise, not as one who barely survived, but as one who carries fire in their bones. The war has forged you into a weapon of light. You will speak, and darkness will flee. You will walk, and chains will break. You will pray, and heaven will respond swiftly, for you have been trained in the secret place. I am teaching you to see beyond what is visible. The warfare you feel in your spirit is not a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that you are close to victory. The closer the dawn, the darker the night becomes. That is why this season has felt unbearable, because the birthing is near. The pain you feel is not punishment, it is contraction. You are birthing destiny, and I am the midwife of your promise. Do not run from the pressure, press through it. Do not give up before the delivery, for I am bringing forth something holy through you. Beloved, when you thought the enemy had stolen your joy, I hid it in myself so it could not be touched. When you thought your faith had died, I buried it in grace until the appointed time to resurrect it. When you thought the door was locked forever, I was building a new door entirely. Nothing has been lost, only hidden until it can serve your future. What was taken in one season will be restored in the next, multiplied by the power of my hand. I have been fighting for you even when you could not fight for yourself. The spiritual battles that raged unseen were won by my word long before you saw the evidence. Every arrow sent against you returned to its sender. Every curse spoken over you dissolved in the authority of my name. You are covered by the blood that speaks better things. You are shielded by angels who war in obedience to my command. You are surrounded, not by fear, but by favor. Now hear me, the warfare is shifting. No longer will you live in constant defense. You will move into divine offense. You will not merely survive attacks, you will dismantle them. You will not only resist the enemy, you will advance my kingdom in places he once ruled. The very ground where you wept will become the place where you worship. The very pain that humbled you will become the platform that lifts you. I am anointing your wounds with oil, turning scars into signs of strength. Where you were once broken, power will flow. Where you were once afraid, boldness will arise. Where you once questioned your worth, my voice will thunder with affirmation. You are mine. So stand firm, my warrior. The night does not last forever. You are coming out refined, radiant, renewed. You will no longer fight to prove who you are. You will fight from the assurance of who I have already declared you to be. And every weapon formed against you will fail, not because you are perfect, but because I am faithful. My beloved child, now that the storms have begun to settle, I am reaching into the quiet places of your soul where pain still hides beneath the surface. I am not here to judge what broke you, but to heal it. I am not asking you to be strong before me, for I am your strength. I see the memories that still whisper when the world goes silent, the ones that still make you flinch when you think you've moved on. But I tell you now, tonight is the night of release. The chains that have bound your heart for years are breaking. The weight you've carried without words is lifting. I am placing my hand upon the wounds that no one else could touch, and I am saying, be healed. You have forgiven others, but you still blame yourself. You have let go outwardly, but inside, fragments of the past still echo. Hear me, my child. I am not holding your past against you, so why do you hold it against yourself? My grace is not partial, it is complete. What I forgave, I forgot. What I redeemed, I restored. You are not the same as you were in that moment of pain. The shame that has shadowed you ends tonight. The guilt that has whispered lies in your ear will be silenced by the truth of my mercy. You have been cleansed not by effort, but by my blood. You are clean. You are whole. You are mine. There were seasons when you built walls to protect your heart. Walls of silence, independence, or busyness. But those walls became prisons. You thought isolation was safety, but I created you for freedom. Tonight, those walls fall. I am tearing down the fortresses of fear, brick by brick, with love so gentle yet fierce. My spirit moves through every locked room of your being, flooding darkness with light. The areas you tried to hide are being illuminated, not to expose you, but to free you. I am touching the child within you who learned to survive instead of live. I am calling that child by name and saying, you are safe now. Beloved, I was there when they left. I was there when the words were said that pierced your heart. I was there when you cried yourself to sleep, when you felt unseen, unwanted, unworthy. You thought I was silent, but I was holding your heart in my hands, catching every tear. Nothing escaped my sight. I have carried you through every heartbreak, and tonight, I am giving you back your voice, your laughter, your peace. You will smile again without the shadow of sorrow. You will breathe without the heaviness that once sat upon your chest. I am breaking the cycles, the repeated patterns that made you feel trapped. The habits you hated but couldn't escape, the emotional loops that replayed pain over and over. They are being broken in my name. The curse ends with you. The patterns of fear, rejection, addiction, anxiety, they are being uprooted. You will not pass this pain forward. You will pass forward my promise. I am rewriting your generational story. You are the turning point, the one I chose to shift the bloodline from bondage to blessing. What tormented your parents will not touch you. What broke you will not break your children. You are the one I have anointed to end the old and begin the new. I am restoring your trust and love, not the kind that wounds, but the kind that heals. For I am love itself, and when you rest in me, you are safe. I am teaching you to love without fear again, to open your heart without the dread of loss. My perfect love casts out fear, and tonight, that love fills every hollow space within you. You will not harden your heart to protect yourself anymore. You will guard it with peace. And listen, my child, I have seen the self-doubt that eats at your confidence, the inner critic that keeps you from stepping forward. That voice was never mine. I do not speak condemnation. I speak correction bathed in compassion. I do not tear down. I build up. I do not remind you of who you were. I reveal who you are becoming. You are not behind. You are right on time. You have not missed your moment. I am preparing it. You have not disqualified yourself. I have already qualified you. You are forgiven. Say it again in your heart. I am forgiven. Let those words sink deep, where shame once lived. Forgiven for what you did. Forgiven for what you didn't do. Forgiven for the years you felt lost. My mercy is greater than your regret. And when I forgive, I forget. So stop replaying what I have already erased. You are not meant to live in the museum of old mistakes. You are meant to walk in the garden of new beginnings. I am also healing your body, for your pain has not only lived in your spirit, but in your flesh. The tension in your shoulders, the ache in your chest, the exhaustion that never leaves, these are the fruits of battles fought too long alone. But I breathe into you now the breath of rest. My spirit flows through your bloodstream, bringing renewal. Every cell begins to respond to peace. Your body will recover, your energy will return, and your mind will quiet. You will rest deeply and wake whole. My child, the enemy has long used your memories as weapons, but I am turning those same memories into monuments of victory. You will look back and see not the pain, but my fingerprints. You will say, even there, God was with me. Your scars will no longer scream, they will sing. You will tell your story not with shame, but with glory, for what once wounded you will now win others to me. The time for sorrow is ending, and the time for joy has come. You will not carry yesterday into tomorrow. I am giving you divine amnesia toward your pain and divine remembrance of my goodness. The sound of chains is replaced by the sound of freedom ringing through your soul. You are healed from the inside out, heart, mind, body, and spirit. You are stepping into wholeness, my beloved. Walk freely now, for the prison doors are open. Leave behind the ashes, I have prepared beauty. Leave behind the fear, I have prepared peace. Leave behind the pain, I have prepared purpose. Tonight it's over. My beloved child, now that your heart has begun to heal, I must teach you about the mystery of waiting. For waiting is not the absence of movement, it is the posture of trust. You have cried out for answers, for doors to open, for promises to be fulfilled, and when nothing seemed to change, you wondered if I had forgotten. But I tell you, not a single moment of your waiting was wasted. Every delay has been a design, every silence has been a sacred preparation. You have not been denied, only developed. I am not slow as humans count slowness. I am precise. I see from eternity what you can only glimpse from time. There were doors you wanted to enter before they were ready, people you wanted to hold before they were whole, and blessings you asked for before you had the strength to carry them. My child, I withhold not to punish, but to protect. I delay not to frustrate, but to perfect. What I have for you must arrive at the moment when your heart, your faith, and your purpose are aligned, for premature blessing can become a burden. So, I kept you waiting not because I forgot, but because I care too deeply to give you less than the best. In the waiting, I was not silent, I was sculpting. I have been shaping your patience into power, your endurance into wisdom. You thought I was withholding, but I was weaving. I have been orchestrating divine connections, setting in motion events you could not see, aligning people, timing, and circumstances so that when the door opens, it will not only bless you, but bless through you. For your story is not a selfish one. It is a river meant to refresh others. My beloved, you have measured your worth by movement, but I measure it by maturity. You thought nothing was happening while you waited, yet your roots were growing deeper beneath the soil. I hid you in seasons of obscurity to strengthen you for the weight of visibility. I kept you covered so that pride would not destroy what humility was meant to sustain. You have been in divine hiding, not forgotten but preserved. And now, the time of revealing draws near. You will see why you had to wait. The people who left were not a loss. They were a necessary release. The opportunities that vanished were not rejection. They were redirection. The closed doors were mercy in disguise. I was steering you away from traps that looked like blessings. I was guarding you from paths that would have stolen your peace. I was keeping you from running into what would have drained your destiny. You asked me for speed, but I gave you safety. The waiting has purified your motives. You no longer seek blessings to prove your worth, but to fulfill my will. That shift has changed everything. What once would have distracted you will now serve you. You have learned that waiting is not passive, it is warfare. To wait and still worship, to hope and still obey, to be still and still believe. That is the posture of spiritual maturity. The world calls it delay, I call it development. My child, there is power in your stillness. You have learned to rest while others rushed. You have learned to hear my whisper while others chased noise. In the stillness, I taught you the rhythm of heaven, that things eternal are never hurried. You will move faster now, not because you run, but because you flow. When I say go, you will glide with grace, for your pace will match my plan. Do not compare your timing to another's. You are not behind, you are becoming. You are not late, you are layered, built line upon line, precept upon precept. Every chapter of your life has been preparation for the next, and I am turning the page. You will soon understand why it took so long, why the prayers seemed unanswered, why the silence lasted. For when the manifestation comes, it will not feel delayed, it will feel destined. Beloved, I am the Lord of divine timing. I turn hearts when they are ready, open doors when they are strong enough to stand, and fulfill promises when the soil of faith is rich enough to receive them. You will not have to force what is meant for you. It will fit. The right opportunities will recognize you. The right people will find you. The right purpose will unfold before you like a sunrise, effortless, certain, unstoppable. And while you waited, something else happened. You changed. You learned that joy is not found in arrival but in trust. You learned to walk by faith, not sight, to rest even without results. You learned that peace is not found in answered prayers, but in abiding presence. This, my child, is the treasure of waiting, to discover that you already have me, and that is enough. But hear me now. The wait has served its purpose, and the clock of heaven strikes transition. The appointed time draws near. What was forming in the unseen is about to manifest in the natural. You will see movement where there was stagnation. You will see favor where there was resistance. You will see answers where there was only silence. The drought is ending, and the rain is coming. The barren field will bloom again, and the seeds you planted in tears will return in joy. You will step into rooms you once only dreamed of, not because of striving, but because of timing. What others received quickly, you will receive divinely, in fullness, in peace, in permanence. For when I bless completely. No sorrow will accompany what I give you. You will not lose what comes from me. So, rest in the rhythm of my time. You do not need to chase. I am bringing what belongs to you. You do not need to worry about missing your moment. Your moment is tethered to my will, and my will never fails. Trust the unfolding, for I am the author, and every word I have spoken over you shall come to pass. Wait with expectancy, not anxiety. For you are not waiting for something fragile, but for something eternal. The night of delay has ended, and the dawn of fulfillment approaches. Tonight, it's over. My beloved child, I have watched your faith be stretched, pressed, and refined through fire, and yet it has endured. That endurance is precious to me, more valuable than gold, more radiant than success, more powerful than anything the world can measure. For faith is not proven in comfort, it is proven in the storm. You have believed even when you saw nothing, hoped when there was no evidence, and stood when every reason to fall surrounded you. That is the faith that moves mountains, not loud but steadfast, not boastful but unbreakable. My child, your faith has pleased me, and I am now rewarding that trust with manifestation. But before I open new doors, I must remind you who you are. For your identity is not built on what you've achieved, but on what I have declared. You are not defined by your scars, your failures, your titles, or your history. You are defined by my voice. When I spoke you into existence, I placed eternity within you. I breathed purpose into your spirit and sealed destiny within your DNA. No one can erase what I have written, and no failure can cancel what I have spoken. Beloved, too long have you seen yourself through the lens of loss. Too long have you believed the lies that said you were unworthy, forgotten, or ordinary. I tell you now, you are none of those things. You are chosen, appointed, and anointed. You carry my likeness, my authority, my light. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts because my spirit walks in with you. You are not small, you are a vessel of glory. You were never meant to blend in, you were meant to illuminate. I call you my ambassador, my reflection, my child. You do not serve a distant God, you are one with me in spirit. When you speak words of faith, you echo heaven's decree. When you move in obedience, you manifest divine will on earth. You are a partner in my purpose, a co-creator with the Creator. Every good work you do, every act of love, every prayer spoken in faith becomes a seed that touches eternity. Stop questioning your worth, for I established it on the cross. Stop doubting your calling, for I have confirmed it in heaven. You do not need the world's validation. You already have my approval. The hand of man cannot open what I have not ordained, nor can it close what I have already released. When I say you are chosen, it is not a suggestion, it is a seal. My child, faith is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to trust me in the midst of fear. You have learned this in your wilderness. You have faced moments where faith felt foolish, where hope seemed like denial. Yet you still whispered, God, I believe. And that whisper shook heaven. That whisper was the spark that kept angels at your side, that kept the darkness from winning, that kept destiny alive. You did not know it, but every time you chose faith over fear, you rewrote your future. Faith is the language of heaven. When you speak it, creation responds. Mountains move because they recognize the authority behind your words. Miracles manifest because your belief pulls them from the unseen into the seen. You are not powerless, you are prophetic. When you declare my promises, you are not hoping, you are enforcing divine law. You are reminding the atmosphere of what heaven has already decided. And yet, faith must be joined with identity, for many believe, but do not know who they are. You cannot walk in authority if you see yourself as abandoned. You cannot release miracles if you doubt that I am with you. So, I am restoring your spiritual sight. You will no longer see yourself as the rejected one, but as the redeemed one. You will no longer see yourself as forgotten, but as favored. You will no longer see yourself as the broken vessel, but as the carrier of holy fire. I am teaching you to speak as I speak, to think as I think, to walk as I walk. My spirit within you is not timid, it is triumphant. The same power that raised Jesus from the grave lives within you. That means defeat is not your portion, dominion is. That means fear is not your inheritance, faith is. That means sorrow is not your destiny, joy is. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a vessel of resurrection power. Rise, my child, into your divine identity. Stand tall, not in pride, but in purpose. The enemy fears the moment you remember who you are, because that remembrance breaks his illusion. He can only deceive those who forget their origin. But you are awakening now, awakening to your sonship, to your authority, to your divine worth. You are not begging for blessings, you are walking in them. You are not chasing after favor, you are favored already. Beloved, you are part of a royal lineage. You come from victory, not defeat. You were born from glory, not shame. I did not call you to survive this world, I called you to transform it. Every gift inside you, every dream in your heart, every desire that aligns with goodness, all of it was planted by me. You are not behind, you are being unveiled. The time has come to walk in what I have already spoken. Step out of the shadows of doubt. Step into the light of destiny. The mantle upon your life is heavy because the mission is great. But do not fear the weight. My grace is your strength. You will not fail because I am within you. You will not fall without rising again because I am your foundation. You will not lose what I have ordained for you because what comes from me is eternal. So walk in confidence, not in yourself, but in who I am through you. Let faith lead your steps and identity anchor your heart. For the moment you see yourself as I see you, you will begin to live as you were always meant to live, bold, radiant, unshakable, free. And know this, my beloved, the purpose I placed within you is awakening now. It will not remain dormant. It will not die in delay. It will flourish under my light. The world will see my reflection in you and know that I am God. You are my vessel of glory, my chosen instrument, my living prophecy. Tonight, it's over. The confusion about who you are ends. You are mine, and that is enough. My beloved child, I am restoring you. What the enemy tried to destroy, I am rebuilding. What was broken, I am making whole. What was delayed, I am now accelerating. You thought the pain was permanent, but it was only preparation. You thought the season of loss defined you, but it only refined you. Everything that was taken from you, peace, joy, confidence, connection, I am returning in greater measure. I do not restore you to where you were. I elevate you beyond it. When I restore, I multiply. When I heal, I make new. When I speak, creation bends to fulfill my word. The years that were wasted, I redeem. The tears that were shed, I record. The prayers you whispered when no one heard, I heard them all. Not one was ignored. You thought silence meant absence, but silence was strategy. I was working in hiddenness, shaping the outcome, aligning the details. Every delay was divine design. Now the tide is turning. What once seemed barren is about to bloom. The field that looked empty will overflow with harvest. The relationships that were broken will find divine healing. Not as they were, but as they are meant to be. The purpose that seemed forgotten will rise again, stronger than before. You will begin to feel the wind of renewal. It will come gently at first, a stirring of peace in your heart, a quiet assurance that things are shifting. Then suddenly, everything will change. Doors that refused to open will swing wide. Opportunities you thought were lost will reappear. What was impossible will unfold effortlessly. For this is the hour of divine reversal. The last will be first. The rejected will be chosen. The forgotten will be remembered. I am rewriting stories, turning mourning into dancing, ashes into beauty, despair into destiny. You will look back on this night and say, that was the moment it turned. Because tonight, it's over. The spiritual drought, the mental warfare, the emotional heaviness, the endless waiting. You have crossed over from testing into testimony, from endurance into elevation. Do not fear what comes next. You are stepping into the unfamiliar, but it is my territory. I have already gone before you to prepare the path. Angels are assigned to guard your steps. Provision is already placed ahead of you. You will not lack. You will not fail. You will not be forsaken. I am renewing your strength. The weariness that once weighed you down is lifting. The fire that once dimmed is reigniting. You will feel inspiration again, fresh, pure, alive. Ideas will flow, creativity will return, favor will find you. You will not chase blessings. Blessings will locate you. This renewal will not just be internal, it will manifest outwardly. I will restore relationships that reflect my love. I will align you with people who carry your next level. I will surround you with peace, wisdom, and divine timing. You will walk in clarity. You will speak with confidence. You will move with authority. My spirit is breathing over your destiny again. Where there was dryness, there will be overflow. Where there was confusion, there will be divine direction. Where there was fear, there will be faith. I am resurrecting what was buried, not by your strength, but by my spirit. Listen closely. Your calling is awakening. Your purpose is activating. The mantle you carry is being reignited. You will dream again, not ordinary dreams, but prophetic ones that reveal my plans. You will speak again, not empty words, but declarations that shift the atmosphere. You will believe again, not because you have proof, but because you have presence. This is your divine reset. The enemy thought he silenced you, but I was simply resetting your frequency. You will now move in greater authority, greater discernment, greater peace. You will no longer react to attacks. You will command the atmosphere with prayer. You will no longer doubt the vision. You will walk in it boldly. And when people ask, what changed? You will say, God breathed on me again. I am sealing you now for the next chapter. The oil of anointing upon your life is increasing. You will carry my presence into places that have never known light. You will speak to hearts that are still bound, and your words will unlock them. You will heal without trying, simply by being who I made you to be. My child, the battle you fought was not in vain. Every tear watered your future. Every trial built your endurance. Every setback became soil for the miracle that is now growing. You have not missed your moment. Your moment is beginning. Arise now, my chosen one. Shake off the dust of the past. Lift your head high. Redemption is here. Renewal is here. Restoration is here. The chains that held you are broken. The night that covered you is ending. The dawn is breaking. Step forward, for it's over. What once held you will hold you no more. What once defined you will define you no longer. What once hurt you will now serve your healing. You are walking into divine restoration, spirit, soul, and body. You are walking into a season of divine acceleration. You are walking into the fulfillment of everything I promised. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your rising. And remember, my beloved, when I say it's over, it is truly over. Behold, I make all things new. Revelation 21 verse 5.